alhamdulillah. That's another big subject, you know. I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing our ummah, alhamdulillah. You know, it's testing our ummah. I think that, I believe that, and it's something that brothers got to keep in mind, okay? That Islam is powerful. Islam is powerful. If we wish to summarize the state of the ummah, okay? I think that's clear to everybody. You know, we at the bottom. We're at the bottom, okay? At the bottom. And the Prophet said that would happen, okay? Because our love for the dunya. You know what I'm saying? Like the hadith we mentioned today in Jummah, the Prophet said, all of the nations will one day attack you. You know, as hungry diners, you know, gather for food to eat, right? And all those nations will have no respect, no regard for you whatsoever. You'll be like the foam on the sea. You know, the fear that they once had of you will be removed. You know, you'll be the lowest on the totem pole, if you will. And that's the statement. Companions asked, would that be because our numbers are small? He said, no, your numbers will be quite large. He said, well, you will have wahan, you will love of the dunya and fear of death. You see, so that's where we are. We love the dunya. It's all dunya. Another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that when you engage in riba, ina, a kind of usurious business practice, right? And you become preoccupied in agriculture, right? And farming, you see, and you abandon the struggle, you know, the jihad, the work for promoting and spreading Islam, Allah will bring humiliation upon you and leave you in that state until you turn back to your religion. So I think that's enough right there to let us know how stated. You see, but how do we get out of that state? I think that's the real question. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and I think it's important for brothers to know that, alhamdulillah, no matter what state we're in, Allah still loves us, man. Allah still loves the ummah. We're still the best ummah. We're still the best ummah on the nation of the world, on the earth. No one prays as hard and as much as you do. No one is more closer to Allah than you. Nobody. And we need to understand it as an ummah. This is my message. You see, you are more closer to Allah than any other people because you believe in Allah and you believe in His Prophet. You see, it's just your iman is weak. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test us. It's like a parent loves his child, right? Loves his child. Mother and father loves his child. But when the child messes up, you know, the love did not preclude them from chastising or disciplining the child, right? Everybody will acknowledge that. So likewise, Allah loves us, yeah, because we're the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you see. But we ain't doing the right thing, okay? So Allah's spanking us up. Allah chastising us. Allah put the kuffar over us. You see what I'm saying? But Allah ain't put the kuffar over His deen. Over us, His deen. So the deen is powerful. They can't stop the deen, man. You see? So Islam is powerful. And so this is why, in spite of us, in spite of our weak iman and our lack of commitment to struggle in the way of Allah to promote Islam and spread the dawah, people are still coming into Islam. By the thousands, man. Allah turning hearts. Everywhere you turn, people embracing Islam. And I don't know what the statistics are, you see, but you hear about it from some of the brothers, you know. Fastest growing religion in the world, you know. I don't know. Okay? So Islam is growing at a tremendous pace, you see what I'm saying? So there is hope for Islam, in spite of our situation, you see. And the hope is because what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us that hope, you see. And He told us in many verses, alhamdulillah, that the honor and the leadership of the ummah will alhamdulillah, will come again, alhamdulillah. Whether you live to see it, whether I live to see it, subhanAllah, it's not in our hands, it's not in our control. You remember the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Sahaba, can you imagine? When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was being persecuted in Mecca, and one of the Sahaba, Kabab ibn Arat, may Allah be pleased with him, came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, oh, Ya Rasulullah, when is the victory going to come? When is our condition going to change? You know, the persecution is just too much for him. And the Prophet became annoyed. He said, you have no patience, Kabab. You see, I said, well, you know, people who came before you went through much worse. Holes were dug in the ground. They were put in those holes, their bodies were split in half. You see, but they remained steadfast. You know what I'm saying? They remained steadfast, they didn't give in, okay? And then he went on to say, I swear by Allah that one day a person will travel from one part of the peninsula to the other part and will fear none but Allah. The security of Islam, the dominance of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Will be established, see? It will happen, you see? Now many of the Sahaba, they heard this tradition, you see? But many of them didn't see that. You see? And the Prophet ﷺ told the Sahaba, you see, at the Battle of the Trench, right? You see? When they couldn't break the rock as they were digging the trench, right? They couldn't break the rock. One of the rocks they trying to break it, they couldn't break it. So they called the Prophet ﷺ, he came up to assist them. He grabbed the pickaxe and hit the rock. You know, and several sparks, you know, before the rock eventually broke, right? Spark went 3 different directions, man. All right, east, west, you know what I mean? West, north, south. And so Salman Farsi, oh, Messenger of Allah, how do you interpret that? See? The Prophet ﷺ said, you know, Rome will come under us. Persia will come under us. And other area, Syria, will come under us. See? That's how powerful Islam is, see? All right? But the Prophet ﷺ, he himself didn't live to see that, right? The Sahaba, many of them didn't live to see, but some of them did. You see? And it continued and continued and continued, see? And so the Prophet ﷺ, he told us, okay? No matter how strong the forces of evil, no matter how strong, you know, the opposition is to stop the growth of Islam, or the empowerment or the leadership of Islam, okay? Won't be able to do it. Won't be able to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and they wish to blow out the light of Allah with their mouths. But Allah's wish is that His light be perfected, even though the unbelievers dislike it. And that it is He, Allah, who sent His messenger Muhammad, peace be upon him, with the guidance and the religion of truth, you see, that it may prevail over all. You see what I'm saying? So, alhamdulillah, Islam is on the ascendancy, and it will come eventually, alhamdulillah, all right? And so that is the promise of Allah, and that is the promise of the Prophet ﷺ. So we don't have to worry about that. So we don't have to be disillusioned, or we don't feel bad or sad when we find ourselves in the state. Just keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working. Do your part. Obey Allah, obey the Prophet. Do what you're supposed to do. Work together, cooperate with each other. You see what I'm saying? To spread the message of Islam. Allah got your back. Because this is His deen. This ain't mine, it ain't yours, it ain't no group, it belongs to Allah. And so Allah has promised the victory for it, inshallah, and it will come, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
We gotta shut it down a minute.
Okay. How do you see, you know, today's Muslims,
No.
you know, compared to your early stage in Islam, and even the Muslims, you know, during life, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Well, of course, you know, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, they were the best, of course, you know. The Prophet sallallahu said the best generation is my generation. The generation after that, generation after that. So they were the best. That was the golden era of Islam. No one can, we can't bring that back, man. You know, we can't we cannot get that status. You know, subhanAllah, all right? They were the best. Allah chose them, all right? Alhamdulillah, and they established Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all right? But that golden age will keep, you know, will come back, I just mentioned, you see what I'm saying, all right? But in terms of the level of sacrifice, you know, or the kind of iman, you know, and the status of those people, no. We can't get that status, all right? And so that's a different era. And like, it amazes me, sometimes people talk about, in our history, some Muslims have a tendency of focusing on Andalus, you know, the period of our history where, you know, Spain was flourishing. We had all the Muslim scientists, and you know, they always talk about the glorious, Andalus, empire, etc., etc. This was like the golden age, or they also during the period of Harun Rashid, one of the great caliphs. You see what I'm saying? You know, who established, you know, institutions of learning, and a lot of scholars, and you know, and Muslims made all these advances in knowledge and science, etc., etc. You know it well. You know it better than I do, especially the students who go to college and high school. SubhanAllah. That wasn't a golden age. That was a decline, man. That was all dunya, man. That was all dunya. The golden age of Islam was the 3 generations, man. In particular, the first one. The age of Umar ibn Khattab, that was the golden age of